Firewatch is a game about a lot of things. For one, it's about a man named Henry, who, seeking an escape from his problems, volunteers to be a fire lookout. When he gets to his post, he meets Delilah, his boss, and while at first you two don't exactly get along, you eventually develop a close friendship with her. Over the course of the game, however, strange things begin to happen to you. You tell off a couple for skinny dipping, and later you find out they've cut one of the communication lines to spite you. When you investigate their camp, there are signs of some sort of attack and a note saying that they'll be notifying the authorities of what they assume to be Henry's behavior. You also find records of a conversation between you and Lila and are immediately attacked, your assaulter taking said records. Then you learn about some sort of government research facility that not even Delilah knows about, and upon further investigation, find more documents of your conversations with her, as well as some sort of tracking device. There's a lot of stuff that happens, and I'm pretty sure I oversimplified a lot of it, but the base point is that you start questioning the game. Hell, when you first hear that this game is a walking simulator, you already start formulating the preconceived notion in your head that this game is going to be some sort of story-driven, metaphorical, smarter-than-you kind of thing. So you've essentially been put on edge since minute 1. You already start wondering when things are going to get weird, or if they ever will. You begin to wonder if Henry really is all that sane. Maybe he's been sneaking in a couple of drinks every night, or maybe he has some sort of condition like Julia's. Yes, Delilah sort of shuts down this possibility, but the documents found at the research lab prove she's been lying to us on some level. So you begin formulating all these theories about the game and what it means and what the big twist will be. How is this game going to make me go, wow, I sure didn't expect that? That is when you see the body of Brian Goodwin. Well, not exactly at that point, but when you hear Ned's recording, it's all made much clearer. This was never about government facilities, or alcoholism, or insanity, or social experiments. It was just about a climbing accident, and a father who didn't want things to be complicated. And, ironically, in doing so, made them 10 times more complicated than they really needed to be. Now, most of what I said isn't anything really new. Firewatch has been out since 2016, and there are dozens of videos on it already. So why make this video now? Well, I wasn't able to play Firewatch when it came out. Heck, I didn't even know it existed. I only ever really found out it existed earlier this year, so like most people, when I finished it, I started watching all the aforementioned videos on it, and in some of them I saw the sentiment that the ending was somehow disappointing. Despite this opinion not being shared by many people, it still made me want to make this video. Now, from what I understand, the reason that people don't like the ending isn't because of the Brian Goodwin thing. No. It's because you never really meet Delilah. And by meet Delilah, I mean like see her in person, not just over the radio. Have you ever played Presentable Liberty? Bad transition, I know, but just follow me here. Presentable Liberty, like Firewatch, makes you feel isolated, but it does this in a really particular way. You get tons of letters from several people, but not only can you not respond to them, but you also never actually see any of these people in the game. Same thing goes for Firewatch. You never talk to anyone except for Delilah over the radio and Julia that one time, but you're not really talking to her, you're dreaming. And I guess there were also those teenagers, but you never really see them. Anyways. Originally, I attributed this lack of human NPCs in both games to budgetary constraints. And sure, that could be the case for Presentable Liberty, you know, since it was made by one guy. However, the same can't be said about Campo Santo, who, despite technically being an indie development studio, is still capable of a lot of things, as well as the fact that they're actually humans that you see in-game, except they don't really lessen the effect of isolation. First of all, there's Brian, which is a corpse when you meet him, so you're not really getting a conversation out of him. Then there's the rescue helicopter at the end. Now, this is where you see that firefighter. I think that's what they are. So you might be thinking this goes against this whole paragraph, but it doesn't. This person, well, they're covered head to toe in fire protective gear. They have no distinctive features or personality traits that we know of. The game makes no attempt to really even humanize them. And to add on to that, they only show up in the very last sequence of the game. My point with all of this is you are never going to meet Delilah, because you're never meant to speak to anyone head-on. It's just you and the good old Shoshone Wilderness. No, then I would love to keep talking about this game, but I'll leave it here. There is so much more to this game than meets the eye, and while I would love to talk about the more meta aspects of the game, I think this is good for now. Even if this whole thing sounds like a poorly written Tumblr post. Either way, I hope you not only enjoyed this video, but that maybe it got you to think about Firewatch in a different light. Or maybe you may want to give it another shot. Maybe you'll agree with my opinion, or maybe you won't. Anyways, I've got to finish this video before it gets out of hand. So then, thank you Campo Santo for making Firewatch.